Welcome back to Get With The Programming. I'm Chase Ingram.
I'm Captain America.
And along with me is Bill Grundler.
Wolverine.
It's a Christmas time, Bill.
Yeah.
I really wanted to. I totally forgot to do this because I was working all morning, but I was going to get some like Christmas music to start it off, but I didn't do it.
You know what we should do? We should. I'm sure there's a AI thing somewhere where we could take our theme song and turn it to a Christmas jingle.
Oh, why don't you just ask your brother?
He's got my mom at their house right now, so I
do some extra work for it.
He's busy with that. Yeah, dude, December 1st, man. Christmas music all day, every day, all the time, only.
Yesterday, I was sitting on the couch and I looked at my wife. This is probably like 2:00 in the afternoon. And I was like, "Is it December?
Yeah,
already?
Yeah.
You like this pullover?
Looks pretty basic.
I like it. Yeah, it's super basic. All it says is CrossFit on it.
Imagine that.
It's fantastic. It's very comfortable. I bought this. Let's see. When CrossFit reopened the CrossFit store and they did exactly what they should do and just write CrossFit on everything.
Yeah.
And then just sell it. And I got this and I wore it this morning. I had carpool this morning for my son. So at the school, they have like a carpool lane drop off and they'll have parents volunteer and then you just open doors.
Yeah.
Well, my wife is going to work out early. So I was like, all right, I'll take the kids with me. It's like 38, 40 degrees, which for those guys that are actually in cold weather, for Texas, that's like sub-zero freezing temperatures for
us. Dude, I get it. Same.
Might as well be a blizzard. And
well, it will be tomorrow, so don't worry.
Oh, that's right. And the kids are great. Like they're opening up the doors, they're saying good morning, they're saying have a great day, they're having a blast. So that was super fun. But the CrossFit store has a sale going on. So if you guys want to get some stuff for a discount, this pullover is fantastic. And this hat. I just happen to be wearing all gray. I'm in like Bill's attire. I got gray, black.
I say I'm black. Black.
Are you wearing your OG sweats right now?
Heck yeah.
So am I.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Look at us.
They're comfortable.
They are
very comfortable.
These actually are some of my favorite sweats. I've been wearing them so much, the seams are falling apart.
Yeah.
On that note, we had a conversation with Ken, I think last week, and
he's ready.
He's ready.
Man, I'll tell you what.
What a time to be on the comeback.
Wow. Well, first of all,
what a time.
Congratulations to him and how he made it through the games.
Yeah.
Doing all the printing for all the Northern Spirit stuff was unreal, first of all. I mean, he said he went like 3 months straight every day.
Dude.
Like every day.
He's like, oh, sorry, I've been gone for a while. I was like, what are you talking about, man? You got way more important things to do.
Well, and
no, we didn't plan it. It just happens with us.
Right, totally. Yeah. It's kind of like twins. It's kind of like twins, just have that natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it is a.
What a time to be alive.
Whenever things got weird when I was at the fire station, and this is something I've realized that I do. Huh?
Like politically?
Yeah.
And I don't mean like Democrat, Republican. I mean, there's a
political
politics game that Bill refuses to play.
And I'm not very good at it.
No. Space Wolves.
Space Wolves. The weirder things got outside around me, like within the sphere, outside around me, city budgets and county wanting to do certain things and chiefs wanting us to play a certain role and all of the things that are happening. Yet every day we had to make sure we were training, make sure we had all of our equipments, all tooled up and ready to go, and make sure that we were responding to calls as they went and as they were working, so we could do our thing. So like all of this stuff all this smoke seems like to be this big stuff. Yet there's one thing that has to happen every single day, which is when the tones go off, you have to go and respond.
Yeah.
And I found that for me, And I was a captain, so I was mid-management. So I got what all the Chiefs wanted as they're playing up in the clouds, all of the theoretical, it would be great if we could do in this amazing things, and we're going to push these, implements and those issues and initiatives and blah, blah, blah. I had to take whatever I could, glean whatever I could from that, and then turn inward to my crew and get us to where we could get to our call and affect our rescues and affect our medical assistance and do all the things that we needed to keep all of ourselves safe. And I found out that the harder it went or the louder it got outside,
the
more I turned inside. And that,
you mean inside yourself or inside your group?
Inside my group,
like your crew
that
you're in charge of.
Yeah, like I have found that the harder things get, or the crazier or the more messy things get, the more my priorities will line up, and I see them distinctly. That happened during COVID. That happened during issues that I've had, with people, with relationships, with whatever. Like, all of a sudden, the gnarlier it is, the louder it is, the more smoky it is, and all of a sudden, like, it all just drops, and I can immediately see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 priorities. Like, there's no question, and that only happens when I turn inward. So, talking about all of you being canceled in your ways that you seem to ruffle people's feathers on a regular basis. It is very interesting. Man, it is interesting to watch, dude.
It is fascinating to watch people react to things.
Yeah. And we've sat back now over the last 4 years, and we've seen this a handful of times, whether it's COVID, whether it's vax, whether it's political, whether it's Trump, whether it's Kamala, whether it's Biden, whether it's whether it's CrossFit, whether it's Luca or Lazar, whether it's the games, whether it's Dave. Like, all of a sudden, I have never seen, at least that I know of in my long lifetime, where it just seems like there's polarizing things that are just being dropped. And that is, there's no like situations anymore. It's like everything is polarized. Everything is polarized.
Yeah, like everything has to be. Like, you have to be hot or cold, left or right, in or out, and there's no breadth or room for discussion. And some people just don't want to have that. And if we say things, or I say things that upset somebody, and the first, or it's just manufactured hate or dislike, it's Chelsea. Who has a higher cancel count, Chase or John? I think John had the most in 2024. I think all of them are within this year. I spread mine out.
You do. You do.
And it was interesting. So we did a podcast last week on the game season, and there was a lot of noise all around the ecosystem, not in particular one single individual anywhere, where there was this push to people's reaction to their displeasure on how CrossFit has been handling things since the games, which I'll say right now is that everyone has every right to be upset.
Totally.
By the way, it was everything was canceled, right? Like, I'll say we, because I work for CrossFit. I have no say in the matter in certain things, but I can sit back and constructively say is that it has not been the best handling of a situation that I've ever seen, especially with something as tragic what happened at the CrossFit Games, which was awful, right? And so people's displeasure in that is totally warranted and granted. Now, beyond that, and I have failed in this department miserably in similar situations. So, how you react to those things and how you respond to those things is another. And we said this at least I said this at the end of the show, is like, listen, if you're mad, you're upset, and you personally don't want to be a part of it, and that's the stance you want to take, fine. It is your total right to feel the way you feel and do what you want to do with it. But we're in this age now of, well, not only do I need to voice my displeasure publicly, and now I need to garner favor and recruit masses to support that decision and myself. And that's where any position you take at any certain time, and I'm not just talking about the games, I'm talking about anything, right? I don't like this, therefore we need to cancel this entire thing that made me upset or made me uncomfortable or whatever. And that's been more prominent in CrossFit than it's ever been. And Tyler, I think Tyler was on. This is all Tyler's fault, by the way.
Totally.
It's all my fault. So I said what I said at the end of our last episode. I stand by what I said. The only thing I wish I didn't do so aggressively is just say the word fuck.
I don't think it was that bad. I think it sat perfect.
I mean, I meant what I said. I said what I said. Everything else is like, I apologize for absolutely nothing. Zero.
You said it with a smile on your face.
I said it. I'm not even mad. I'm not upset. Even the fallout that has happened since then of Tyler, I guess, so Tyler took that clip and made his own clip. People think I made the clip. I was like, I would never like self-proclaim my like on Bruce Lee status of like some type of epiphany. You know? I'm not, like, I didn't say that, but like, and now this is the word, and this is what I was just going. I don't write these things down. I don't have these things planned. Usually what gets me in trouble the most early on is that I don't do any of these things, and I just fly off.
You talk from the heart. You're talking from the heart.
Right? And usually it's a bit more animated. I think the joke is like, what is that? My soapbox of rowers that somebody
you sit on your throne of rowers.
I used to go out the handle like way more. And I was just like, look, I'm tired of seeing this divisiveness in CrossFit. And if the reaction is to me saying, if you don't want to be here, fine, then you can leave. That's okay. It's not for everybody, right? CrossFit is for the willing. And that's it. But yeah, Tyler, so he put it together and he sent it to me first. He goes, I was going to post this, but I figured I'd run it by you first. I'm like, he's like, what do you think? I was like, I said it. So what am I going to say? Don't post that because I already said it in a public forum.
Well, and that could have been clipped by anybody anyway. Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, Wooly could have put something out, or anybody could have put something out about it.
And then, boy, whew.
Did it get a little hot under the collar?
The reaction is, no, I was fine.
Yeah.
Like, all the guys that think you can get under my skin, good luck. Right? Good luck. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I stand by CrossFit. I stand by what I said. And when I say CrossFit, I mean CrossFit. Right? Not HQ. You guys should see the meetings I'm in sometimes. Like, don't worry, you're not going to get me fired. I do hell of a job better than y'all do on a daily basis. Right? By sticking to the roots of what got me into CrossFit, the people that I followed on this journey, the true OGs, right? I look at Bill as one of those people. I feel like I was late to the party, even though I started in 2008. I followed the Bill Grundlers, the Chuck Carswells, the Todd Widmans, the Nicole Carrolls, the Dave Castros, right? All of these guys, Adrian Bosman, Greg Glassman, like I came into being inspired by. Those are my OGs, right? Those are mine. Bill is one of them. I'm just tagging along, right? And that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, thank you, Tyler. And so, I was like, oh, well, what's the difference? Is like CrossFit's more toxic than ever. It's like, no, I just feel like everybody's lost and they're just fighting to find their way back. And the reaction to Tyler's reel was hilarious. Is, okay, so say there's this group out there. No one is mentioned by name. No one has been singled out personally. And it's like, if you don't want to be here anymore, you can take your ball and go home. We will not fault you for boycotting anything, right? But garnering this mob around you to tear down the only thing that has made you relevant in this world outside, like for Bill and I, if it wasn't for CrossFit, the only people that would know our names are friends and family, and that's it. That's it. That would be the world we lived in. And for the small micro ecosystem that is CrossFit, maybe ours are known a bit more in this space for whatever reason. That means nothing to us. Zero. But what we do know is that we got to meet only because of CrossFit. Everything I have in my life is because of CrossFit. We've had this discussion before.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like,
Right?
dude,
And we're not trying to be above that.
no, but that's why it came from the heart, because it is meaningful to you, you know, and that's where that came from. So yeah, I mean, what you said wasn't incorrect. It was, if you don't want to be here, fine. This is something that I wish. This is something. This is something. Oh yeah, don't bring up the Brussels sprouts. Don't do it. Don't do it.
God, I was
What I think, what I wish, and I don't know if it can happen. I really don't. And I think this is why we do, because I don't see at least HQ doing it this way, is leaning into, if you don't want to be here, don't be here.
That's what we used to say.
I mean, like, and I know, I mean, maybe that's the private equity thing. You know, it's like you have
that's
to.
what my wife told me.
Well,
So
I mean, like,
if you guys think you got me scolded, no.
right.
Like, the talking to I got from my wife for saying those things. Like, you can't say stuff like that. And I was like, I'm not trying to be Mr. Toe the Line, regardless of what anybody thinks I get paid to do.
Right.
It is definitely not to do shit like that.
I
would argue they would pay me not to do things like that.
The hard thing with how we're standing is that we're trying to get 30 million CrossFitters, and to get 30 million CrossFitters, you have to make it look like so friendly so that everyone can get in. And I don't think it needs to be that.
Do that.
What you need
is so small.
Well, it is small, but from what we have right now, like what made CrossFit a magnet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking the methodology, the way that it was put together, the benefits that you can get, the fact that every other fitness anything out there rips and steals and copies everything, and not even the CrossFit like invented anything new, just how it was put together.
Says that publicly. If you're doing it better than us, we will happily bow down to you.
Totally. Like we'll take what yours is and we'll put it into the mix. Anyway, what made it so magnetic was that it wasn't that everyone did it. It was that you had to step into the ring to do it. That's why all the jokes about the Fight Club and all that kind of, first rule about Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club. Not like
we definitely
water it down. It goes from underground fights to thumb wrestling. You know what I mean? So that it's like what happened? And that was always the hard thing for me. It was the grittiness and the fact that it was hard and all that kind of stuff. And I know that the people that are really raising the ruckus now, it's not about CrossFit.
Right.
It's about what happened at the CrossFit Games. I get it. I get it. But that is not what you're following. You didn't get into this to follow the CrossFit Games. Even if you want to compete, you got into it. And I don't mean you, I just mean anybody. Got into it because it was like, what the hell is this hard thing that everyone is doing?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that was an athlete of some sort, they got injured, they couldn't do their thing, they came into this. They used to be an athlete, they wanted to have that back, they came in now, and now they're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
They were sick, they wanted to get off their medications, they heard about this somehow, and they came into this. They wanted to lose weight, they didn't know how to do it, they came into this, and it worked. That was the magnet. And so, if you're angry at the CrossFit Games, cool. Okay, don't go and do the CrossFit Games then.
Right. You can do that.
Don't go and compete.
It's okay.
You don't need to even be part of that. But to pull away from what the methodology is, like what really?
Mm-hmm.
How does that have anything to do with the methodology? It has nothing to do with the methodology. And talking about Julie there.
Thank you, Heather.
The thing with Luca Luka should be able to say whatever Luka wants because that dude lost his brother and he is sad and hurt and broken. And I get it.
Dude, I give Luka a free pass.
He could say whatever the hell he wants,
pass, bro.
He's angry. He's
Yeah.
hurt. He's heartbroken. I understand that.
Yeah.
That being said, everybody that is jumping on the bandwagon, you can't say that you feel like he does because it didn't happen to you.
No.
I can see that you want to console him. Cool. Do that. But trying to burn down the entire methodology of the community that you came into, not because of the CrossFit games, but because of this stuff, are really?
Yeah.
This isn't at Luka. This is that people that are trying to, and this is what's sad. And I don't know why people aren't understanding this or aren't at least thinking about this. How is it that everyone feels that if they take Luka's story and they take Luka's pain, that they now get to use that for their platform as either to get views on podcasts and how they're going to, talk trash on CrossFit games, whichever, or trying to get people to, all the polls that people are putting on their stupid Instagram, like, what do you think about this? And it's like, why? What do you have nothing else to say. So that's what you're going to do is you're just throwing gasoline onto a fire just to make you seem important. Like that doesn't make you important. It doesn't make you better. It doesn't make people want to listen to you.
Right.
I don't understand them. I don't understand what they're trying to grab. And I mean, and literally because I don't understand it, I go back to what you said and go like, yeah, then don't be here.
Right.
Then go away.
It's that you're not a bad person if you don't want to do it.
And I don't even hate on you.
No.
At all. Like if you don't want to be here, then don't. I mean, I have members that like it's the same thing. Look, if you don't enjoy coming here, then don't.
Right. You're making it fun for no one.
Like
you're not happy, and then you're making other people unhappy. Spin, we're working on it.
I thought we deflected it to him.
Yeah. Yeah. We said this is all Tyler's fault. Y'all can address that again on Wednesday. It's funny though. I think that was on Wednesday when everything happens on Wednesday for you guys. You get so lucky. How convenient.
Totally.
How convenient. I liken it to like people's response or athletes' response to the CrossFit Games this year, right? When they decided to continue, and then they gave the athletes a choice to do whatever they wanted to do.
Yep.
Athletes should have been free to make their choice and move forward without judgment. Unfortunately, that started to happen. And it started to happen from the outside looking in, and it started to happen from athlete to athlete.
I think that's the worst part. I don't give a shit what anyone else thinks on the outside.
You think like that was gross to watch, but even more so, and you touched on this, is that if you think what I said is bad, are you watching people actively take advantage of what happened at the CrossFit Games for their own benefit?
Totally.
That are so pretending to care about what happened?
It's gross.
Like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Right. And so on the heels of what Tyler posted on Wednesday, it's funny to watch, say my reaction to what people are doing, right? Which was, if you don't like it, leave. Now, I might have said it in a bit more stern manner. Like I said, just get the fuck out. But, right? And that was it. You make your decision. Stop trying to go into the mob to support your decision. Stop doing that. Like, that's where things get, like, to get people around you to support your choice, to make yourself feel better about your choice. Like, that's where I have a problem.
Yeah.
Right. So in that sense, someone decided to make it very personal to me. And in the process of that, it was very funny to watch people's reaction to that, to me. Right. Like, I was called, I didn't read any of it, but like sometimes you'll see just like, sometimes people will just send you 3 words and you can see that.
Right.
And I was, people wished for my own death. That was interesting to watch.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like you guys are cool. Like people wanted wish for me to be dead. Personal attacks on my family. Over saying, if you don't want to play, go home. Leave us alone. That's what I said. But this whole mob cancel mentality, because I don't like what you said, even though no one directed anything at anyone on a personal level. Yes, there's a wide scope of seeing what that is. And that's your response, right? It was great. Like you guys made it so much easier to sit back on my guns and laurels and stance by that reaction. Think about that, right?
Dude.
We say, if you don't want to be here, then don't be here. Just stop trying to stop trying to tear the system down on your way out, right? But on the flip side, when you were told that, you guys decided to come after me, threatening my life, my family, telling me just like the worst things in the world, all the while thinking that's going to bother me. You can't do it.
I can't even imagine. I can't imagine sitting down wherever, at the table, at my desk, with my computer, with my phone, and thinking, okay, my idea, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write to Chase and I'm going to tell him that I hope you die because of that comment that you made. Like where and when and at what point did anyone think that if they wrote that would actually that's truly what's going on in your head? Like, my God, you're a sad person.
And
holy shit.
Those are all like DMs because like they don't want to be seen saying that. Like and I'm not going to tell anybody who did it. I'm not even going to think about it again, but I'm just saying that's the reaction that people give over defending the community about it. Not HQ, where we just said they are not batting 1,000 right now.
No, God.
Not even close.
No.
Right? But, it was, right? Who's more critical of the game season than Bill and I?
Jeez, oh man, seriously, that's all we do.
But what we do on the heels of that is like, here is a problem we see. Here's a solution that could help fix that because we want it to be great. Not, I don't like what you did. I'm out of here and I'm ripping the doors off the hinges and bashing the glass and setting the house on fire on the way out because I don't like the way this is being handled.
You want to know what's crazy is in that you just brought up a really good point, and I haven't really heard it. Maybe Sevon was kind of hinting at it at one point, but like with all of the things that went down, all the complaining about how it went down, what was released, what wasn't released, PFAA demands, all of the things. All I have heard this whole time is, I want this, but it never says what that was going to do. I want this, but never like how that was going to fix the solution. You guys are just blah, blah, blah. It's just bad, shitty, go kill yourself, whatever the thing is. But at no time has anyone offered a solution, not a demand, but how is that going to fix it?
Right.
And I mean, like, fix it, not like, well, in theory, if you got someone else in there, then all of a sudden the programming will be different and it's going to be, no. Tell me how it's going to change it.
Right.
Don't just say what you want, that you want to tear down what is, but why?
Yeah.
And you can't say because I said so or because I don't like them. Like that doesn't work. Or even to say, there have been a lot of fuck ups before. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But then say how to fix it. Don't just say there have been fuck ups.
Right.
Fix it then. Like we that's our joke, right? They're fixed it.
They're fixed it.
So where is everyone else's there fixed it? In fact, when we there fix it on the program, and granted, that's a small piece program. It's a small, tiny piece.
We're a micro podcast.
But take that and extrapolate it out. So check this out. We take the programming, and when we there fix it, We take exactly what the program is and modify it just barely. We don't change the movements. We don't change the idea. We don't change the stimulus. We don't change anything. We just fix what is there currently. And then all of a sudden, every time we've done that, we've come up with some pretty damn good setups where it's like, well, shit, that would have changed the games right there totally. Or that would have changed the semifinal completely.
Right. Yeah.
So why doesn't anyone do that with this problem?
Or
why is it just, here's what's there? Stop telling me to remove everything out and make a whole brand new thing. Why not just say, okay, here's my box. Fix it within this box then. And don't just say take out and put someone else in. Say how it's going to work. Say why it's going to work. Tell me who to put in there exactly and what exactly they're going to do. Otherwise, it's just fucking words. And that's all I'm hearing. Like, dude, the thing is there's so much noise. I don't even fucking hear it anymore. So if somebody was even have something that was worth hearing, I don't even know if I would even hear it.
Yeah.
Because it's just, bzzz, that's all I hear.
Yeah. That and demanding things is always a poor way to start.
Yeah.
Right? As you said, with no substance to back up an alternative solution. With substance, right? It's not like, get rid of this and do this. I'm like, yes, but how? How do we do this? Like it's like saying,
and why did you pick that? Like, what is it going to do exactly?
I mean, I could say get rid of this and do this with like no actual process or feasibility to do that, and it sounds great.
Sounds great.
Sounds great. Totally. Like to port all these and just build a wall and it's done. You're like, how? Why? What's the purpose? What's the point? How do we even do that? Like demand and say like that doesn't work.
There's got to be 2 steps past what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There has to be.
Right. And the problem I see here is that it's just a retreading of the Greg tweet era. The I'm out campaign. Right? Like we're out, affiliates out, games athletes out. Like how does that fix? Like there's no fix to that.
The funny thing is like the whole idea of like the athletes striking, like it makes sense. It makes sense if you have like baseball and there's just billions of dollars that are involved with the athletes and all the revenue that comes in because of the games and all the stuff that's sold and all the paraphernalia and the merchandise. I understand that like they have a little bit of pulling power.
Right.
These athletes have no pulling power to do something like that. You don't want to go? All you did was open up the spot for someone else that's been hoping that they could get in there.
Right.
That is it. You like no one's going to go, oh, that person's not here. Obviously the games doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
No, it does not. You opened up a hole. That's all you did. I mean, honestly, someone below is going to be saying, you know what? Get pissed. Leave. Give me my shot so I can get in there.
Bye. I'll pull this. This is it's a good statement. For a space whose hallmark is community, in quotes, we seem to be a community at constant odds. That is true. Right? And we're talking about why that's happening. It's the same reason if you look, I'll just do it states focused. We just went through 4, 8, 12 years of that, right? Where the perception is you're either left or you're right. And if you're on one side of the fence, you're obviously far on that side or far on this side. And therefore, you're the devil either way, whatever side of the fence, right? And that's been not just in CrossFit, but it's been everywhere. That's just where we are in society right now, is that if you have an opposing view to a large majority or a minority group of people, then you're this, you're that. There's just a blanket label. Like there's levels to this. And yeah, it sucks to see everything in flux, but it's been like that since 2020.
Yeah, no, everything is like that. And I think that that's like the default. You know, there isn't.
Well, it's because people got their way 3 years ago. From 2020 to like for 3 or 4 years around that era of cancel culture, these people got their way.
Yeah.
And I don't mean in CrossFit, I just mean anywhere. You said something that upset me, Therefore, we're burning this down. And it used to work.
Like where is there's
Instead of like, hey, this upset me. I'm like, okay, why?
hey, can we talk about it?
Yeah.
Something.
No, we can't because you're a fascist, racist, misogynist, pick your ist.
Yeah.
Right. And therefore, there's no reasoning with you. When most of the time, it feels like quite the opposite. Right? We're here saying, if you don't want to be here, peace be with you. Just, stop poking holes and smashing, a sledgehammer into the walls on your way out. All right? Stop throwing rocks through our windows. Just leave. And if we tell you that, then what? I deserve to die? Think about that. That was reaction.
So crazy.
It was crazy. And I'm not trying to draw an apples to apples comparison. But my favorite is like, you have no idea what it's like. You have no empathy on what happened. I was like, I am not putting myself in anyone else's shoes. I'll just tell you my shoes. Right? I have been a part of a traumatic drowning in my family. And we were all there to have it happen. I know what it is like. I'm not saying I knew what it's like for anybody else, especially not Luca. Because and this is part of the point. It's like, you are not me, I am not you, I'm not pretending to be, and I am not judging you at all.
Right, totally.
On a personal level. Like we said, you get a free pass, bro. Is the way our family managed that situation, right? And I think I told this story when
you did. I remember.
And for those of you guys that are new, we went on a family trip. We used to go to this trip every 2 years, family reunion. My grandmother put it together because she's keeping the family together. A couple of years between the second and third trip, my grandmother developed Parkinson's, which is really sad because she was like hardcore, good feminist, right? Horse rider, it was awesome, right? And they're like, hey, we want you guys to bring all the kids to this trip. We went to Turks and Caicos. It's a little bougie. And my grandmother wants to do it because she wants to see the grandkids, the great grandkids, right? I'm the grandkids. And so I was like, God, I don't want to bring my kids. They're like 4 and 2, and it's just a pain. But we all do. So we all show up. And as we get to the lobby of this hotel, it's a full day trip to be there. My grandparents had got there a couple of days earlier. And we get there, and to make a long story short, the hotel manager comes over and tells my mom is that within an hour before we walked into the lobby, my grandmother got pulled out of the pool and died, drowned there. Right? Like, oh, was it in a private pool? How did she get lost? I know she has Parkinson's. Why would she be in a pool with that ailment? Nope. My grandmother drowned in 10 inches of water on a sunbathing platform in front of 1,000 people, all sitting there sunbathing at 11 a.m. Mm-hmm. And that's what we were told right when we landed in paradise. And so it's me, my 2 brothers, all their kids, my parents, cousins. We're all trying to figure out what the hell happened, how it happened. And you know what we did? We all handled it horribly. Horribly. And we were there for 6 days. This was hour 1, and now we had to navigate our own personal stuff with each other for the next 6 days. And we handled it terribly. And we failed left and right. And these are family members that we had to struggle with. So I am not saying I understand. But I am saying it's not that I don't have experience in something in the same pattern, which is why when I'm sitting at the CrossFit Games, seeing that take place, I had a better position to watch and understand why people were reacting the way they were reacting. Mm-hmm. And you got no judgment from me. I get it. I have failed in that department before. I understand. Right? So for those of you that don't know me, there you go. Not my sob story. Hello, honey. Where's what? Where's Blake? Daycare? Oh, yes. Do I need to go get her? No, it's a little late now. Oh, I forgot about Blake. Oh, I forgot about my daughter. She has Yeah. Oh, man, I'm going to get in trouble for that one. Anyways. So I'm not putting myself in anybody else's shoes. These are my shoes. I'm not going to pretend I know what anybody else is going for or through, but it's like I got to watch people react in a way that was like, yeah. I was like, oh, why would they do that? I was like, because something just like the most traumatic thing happened to one person, Luca, fiance, Lazar, God bless him. And it was just awful. And it was awful across the board. And so to watch this, I was like, look, I get it. No judgment here.
I just can't. I understand how tough it would have been for the athletes. I mean, they compete with Lazar. They've known him for a while, you know. Like I understand. I mean, obviously, and I'm not even counting Luca. I mean, that's just a whole nother ball game.
No.
I can see how with the situation and how, you know, whether they agreed with or didn't agree with how things were handled, the part that I really thought was rough and really confusing, honestly, for me, was how they turned on each other because of what they decided to do individually.
Yeah.
Like how, I mean, I can see on the teams where like maybe in the teams you're going to have some strife, and okay. I mean, like I could see the team having like a difficulty if one person does or one person doesn't. I get it. But as individuals, I like the first reaction was they should all be allowed to do exactly what they want to do. If they want to leave right then, cool. If they want to continue, fine. If they wanted to do a handful of events and see how they felt and then pull out, cool. Okay, got it. If from that situation they decide that they don't want to come back because they don't want to be involved in a situation like that again, they need to have these in their mind. They need to have these certain things happen, and only if these 1, 2, and 3 demands get put out there, that all of a sudden that is now going to make it a 100% better, perfect, no problems ever. And then they want to come back, okay, and then that doesn't happen, and that it doesn't turn out for them, okay, okay, it doesn't. You don't need to. Yeah. Like I get it, man. I get it. But it's all of the other people that come around and are yelling. Actually, they're yelling from behind the wall. Like at least okay, like Laura Horvath. I mean, like she's pissed. You could tell she's pissed. You see what she's throwing. You see, the issue between and again, you're the athlete. You have every right to feel exactly how you feel. Yes. I get it. Yes. But everyone else, all you are is a talking head. You are a fan. You are a watcher of. You are even these people who, act like since they get to talk about the athletes, they get to talk about the events, they get to talk at the events, they get to recap of it, whatever. Yeah. You're not connected. Stop acting like you are. Yeah, I mean, the people that are inserting themselves in this, that's where I'm like, that's where my judgment comes into play. And I think CrossFit just posted this, is like, so in the Greg days or the tweet days, the black square days, it's like you were ostracized if you didn't do something like that, right? Athletes were getting ostracized if they didn't post, I'm out. And then so we got the same thing after the games. Like if you didn't do some type of thing for what happened, then you were clearly the problem. And then some people were like, oh, if you competed, then you don't care. I'm like, that is
so unfair to everybody. Right. And I don't expect right? I'm 42. I've been through some things, some real things in my life. So have you, especially with your firefighter career, right? Like you've seen the worst of humanity.
Yeah.
And why would I expect a 20-something-year-old who has never had anything bad happen be able to process that moment in time the right way? I don't, but others did.
Mm-hmm.
And that was unfortunate to see.
Yeah, I just everybody had to give. You know what I thought was really interesting, actually, like all of us pundits out here with all of our podcasts and our Instagram stories and whatever else. You want to know who I think did it best?
What?
Was Hiller.
Oh, interesting.
And the reason I say that is because
I thought he just couldn't figure it out himself.
No, well, what I really appreciated first, I've never seen that dude get that emotional.
Yeah.
Like the dude lost it on camera, and I was like, wow, he left that in, and that was, I mean, I don't think he was expecting that to happen. He live when all that was going down, and he lost it. I could see, through our talk in our locker room that he was angry. I mean, very angry.
Yeah.
And what he did was he just went silent.
Mm-hmm.
Not because silence is violence and he's trying to, stick it to the man. And it was, I am angry at this. And I don't believe in what you just did. So you know what? I'm pulling out.
Mm-hmm.
And he just pulled out. Not like, hey, everybody, just to let you all know, I'm angry, and so I'm going to go ahead and go, okay? And if any of you want to come, you can come with me. But he just left for a while. And he didn't do any videos for a while. I mean, shit, he was silent in our group for a while.
Yeah.
That was of anyone, of any of the talking heads, any of us. I'm talking everybody in the space. I think that his reaction was probably the best.
I see that.
And again, I say that because I know exactly how he felt.
Yeah.
I
would say there was no best way to do it, right?
No.
Who reacted
You're right. You know what I mean, though. You know what I mean.
No, what you're saying is like his process.
Right.
It's like, I don't know what to do right now. So instead of letting someone else dictate what I should do based off the noise that I hear or my emotional reaction to the situation, is like, I'm just going to pull back and just process this here. And that's what he did.
And even if the process was, I mean, dude, I really thought he was gone. Like, I thought he was like, I'm over it, I'm done. Which, again, that was fine. I was shocked by it. But, right. I mean, that's what I thought he was doing. And I didn't even know if it was processing. He was just like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah.
But what I liked is that he was just out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he made his decision to go. It wasn't, again, like, it wasn't, at no time did this guy that is the YouTuber in our space pop up and be like, I am now going to grab a hold of this and I'm going to make something of it.
Yeah.
To show, I mean, I just, that was impressive. That was impressive to me.
Yeah.
And I wish that for all the people that do talk shit about him and they get so hurt by what he does sometimes because he just can't handle anyone turning the mirror on him. I wish that people would see what he actually did, because there's a lot of weak people out there, dude, and there's no way they could have done that.
I feel like weak people are always the loudest people.
They're so loud.
Right? They try to, like if you're the person in the bar, like screaming that you're going to kick my ass, like, I have no fear of you. Like you wouldn't need to posture up like that. Like if you were truly the baddest dude in the room,
You don't have to say a word.
you don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
Right. Which is probably why I have a mic, because I'm not the baddest dude in the room. But I don't pretend to be. Right. And I don't pretend to have all the answers. But Bill and I have been in this for a long time. In every which way you could possibly think about. Like, we want to play the resume game.
Yeah.
It's like, no, when we say these things, like I don't say anything for like towing the line or the corporate line. If that was the case, I'm doing a really shitty job.
You must be literally like the only litmus paper in like the meetings when you guys go there. They're like, okay, we have our company people over here, and real fast, Chase.
Yeah, just keep me on permanent mute. Mute my mic. And it's I don't know, and the way people react to these things, it was wild. Wild. Like people feel like, and some people feel like this too is, and you'll see this with athletes a lot, is they have to be liked by everybody. You see this a lot with younger people, even, I don't know. You see this a lot with anybody. And this is a hard thing to shake. And this is like growing up stuff, right? Growing up, like elementary school, like if somebody didn't like you, that was the end of the world.
Right.
You don't like me? What?
Yeah.
And now it's like, if every single person likes you, who are you lying to?
Yeah.
You're lying to somebody, because there is no such thing as everybody should like you. It's like, oh, well, we think you're a joke. I'm like, okay. Have you found one person in this world where everybody unanimously loves and adores? And if you do, right, who are they being fake to? Who are you? Are you just this chameleon in the community, just trying to be loved by all? That's the worst person. The worst person is someone you can talk to, and when they walk away, you're not sure who they're going to be when they leave you. The best person is like, I know what I get in front of your face, and I know what I get behind closed doors to other people. I can, even if you're an asshole. Some of my best friends are total assholes, but at least I know exactly what I'm getting. Now, they're also the kind of guys that would be there in a heartbeat when you called them, right? Authenticity is so important, more important than being popular. And where we have our takes is that CrossFit for us is above us. It is above our names. Is it above our affiliates? It's above our podcast name, because we don't want to be above this. This is what we are here to serve this. But there are people that want to be above that, that feel that they are more than that. And they're not. Because when we said at the beginning of the show, the only reason this all exists for Bill and I is because of this, CrossFit. And we support that with everything that we do, even if we don't agree with who's running the show sometimes.
Which has been a lot the last handful of years. It's been a lot.
Pick a category. It's not just sport. We don't do it for that. Every time we hit live is to pay service, to have some fun, to infuse some energy, to garner some community, to build this thing together. Whether we're having an issue with something, which we give a solution. It might not be the best fix, but at least we give something to go along with it.
Yeah.
We're not trying to rise above. We're trying to be a part of it. And so when we have people on the outside tearing it down to rise them up, it's the same thing with society, right? We're trying to cut the legs off people that have more to rise ourselves above. You're not even building yourself up. You're just tearing people down. And that's permeating into the culture. It's permeating into the community. And I was sick of seeing it. So I said, stop, leave, please, just leave. You will have no judgment from me. If you want to go, I will support you. If every games athlete that I love watching compete wants to boycott the Open, you have my support. But if we're doing the Jerry Maguire, who's coming with me? Now we have a problem.
I just think that is so I can't even imagine the mindset you have about yourself that you think you're going to be able to pull someone because you don't want to go and compete. Dude, I've had remember like when Mal pulled out
and not just compete, right? Or not watch, or not affiliate, or lead.
Totally. Like remember when Mal pulled out?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, how could she do that though? Like, what are you talking about? How could she do that? If she needs to do that,
right? She doesn't owe you anything.
Doesn't owe anybody anything. Anybody. I mean, maybe her sponsors, maybe if that was in the contract, who knows?
Even then though, right? Like if like she's in a bad place, like your sponsor's gonna be like, no, you have to because we paid you.
I mean, hey, I don't know what's I don't know what's written. I don't know what's written, but I'm saying like all of us people, like all of the people have zero say in whether she's there or whether she's not there, whether she competes or doesn't. If she needs to, wants to, has to, doesn't want to, doesn't. Hey, and Haley, I mean, that's what I thought was hysterical. And I know that it's good gossip news and all that kind of stuff, and it gives everyone stuff to talk about. I get it.
Which we don't.
But I don't. This sounds bad. I don't care. Like, you know what? You know what's weird is, as I am honestly, and I think I've been this way ever since I started doing the commentary.
Yeah.
And I had a hard time then, and I'm in the same place now. Like I remember when Rothy was like, he would tell us like, you need to really pump these athletes up. You need to do this and that and the other thing. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm still competing. I can't put these guys up on a pedestal like that because I want to take them down personally. So how can I go and talk about them being this great thing when can I just say what they're doing?
Right.
So I had a really hard time with that back then.
Okay.
My current position, and I am the same way with team sports. I don't have a favorite football team. I don't have a favorite wrestling team. I don't have any favorite. Like I like watching it, but I'm not like a fan of the athletes so much that we're like, I love this person and I have to know if they peed at 8:03 like they always do. Otherwise, I'm not going to know. Hey, man, you don't want to play? Okay, cool. Who else is up? All right. Yes. Like maybe that's old man me. I don't know. I just want to see people compete. I like watching competition.
Yeah.
And I just want to see that. I don't know.
I want to see the best games. I want to see the best head-to-head matchups. Like I love the Dallas Cowboys, but I'm not tied to like who's on the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Unless they leave and they go to a rival, then I'm like, screw you.
Yeah, but okay, that's the Cowboys, and you're from Texas, so like that's a little different. Like I get it, but I'm just saying in general, like if these athletes, if they want to pull out, like really,
or start a new thing, like that's more than what we're talking about. It's like if you don't want to do this, then go do your own thing.
Yeah,
which may be in the works from what I've heard. Like whatever Will Moorhead's doing.
Yeah, I mean, cool.
Go make it happen.
I mean, I think the IF3 is still going on.
IF3
still happening.
It's the same thing like early days CrossFit, and then Orange Theory came on board because they realized as they can scoop up those that aren't willing to do the hardest work. Orange Theory is still like people still go hard, right? But like if we franchise this and we make the bathrooms really nice and everything's really clean and we got cool music and cool lights and we just like that, there's a group that just wants that.
Right.
How many people came to your gym back in 2012 because they had no other choice, right? They wanted to do this, but like, this is still hard, but I don't have anywhere else to go. And then Orange Theory comes on like, oh, that's easier.
Totally.
Oh, yes. F45. Oh, that's so a Barry's boot camp. Oh, that's so much. Like these things came out of the ashes of the fitness industry that CrossFit just burned to the ground. And then like, oh, we can do this. And we can do it in a way that other people want to. Yeah. Right? But there's still that cohort of people that wanted to do the dirty, hard work. Like Tyler said, is like CrossFit is for the willing. It's for everybody, and it's for everybody that is willing to do this. Right? And the more we hold this thing as the standard of what it should be, then the more we can garner and galvanize and build a community back around what this is. The bigger picture here is like, what is this anymore?
And that's what I meant when I said earlier at the top of the show about like looking inward, going inward.
Yeah.
Like, stop looking at all of the, I mean, I wish HQ would do this. Don't try to market to everybody.
I know.
Get our group get our center so damn tight to where like it builds like it did a gravitational pull that people just can't say no to it.
Yeah.
I don't care if that's cheaper over there. I don't care if that's closer over there. I don't care if my heart rate never has to get above the orange zone.
Yeah.
I don't care. I want to do that because look at what they are doing.
Yeah.
Not the CrossFit Games. CrossFit. What is CrossFit doing?
Right.
And I really wish, I mean, leaning into, yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
And look at these old people that we have that do it. And look at these adaptive athletes that do it. And look at this person that does it. And he's 300 pounds. They do it. You telling me you can't? Like,
right.
Okay, then don't, man. Don't.
Right. Well, and that's what I mean by.
But we're here and waiting for when you want to, because you're gonna want to.
Yeah. Well, those conversations are happening. I might be
good,
the loudest voice in the room.
Good,
but they're happening. Right. And I've said this before. It's like, yeah, 30 million. It's like, oh, 30 million. It's like 30 million is not a huge number when you're thinking about like a global fitness methodology that is CrossFit. But it's when you dilute yourself to try to appeal to more, then you actually lose to these other brands more.
Right.
Right. If we bring ourselves down to the Orange Theory F45 Barry Bootcamp, pick your boutique fitness group training thing, then what's the difference? Then they're like, well, that's cheaper, that's nicer, I like that music better, I like these bathrooms. Like those are not when the workout's the same. Of course, you're losing that battle. When you separate yourself from the crowd, then no one can play on this level anymore. They can only play with pricing.
So
music.
So in following our own advice,
yes,
about not just complaining, but giving a solution.
Yeah.
The solution, I think, would be to utilize your #small team to make videos and commercials that get out explaining, yeah, we're hard. It is hard. Not trying to do the most emotional, not trying to do, but like I don't want to see any of these commercials. They gotta go out. They gotta go to football games and basketball games and hockey games and things where like people are going to be seeing the TV. Like it has to go to that. I don't stop spending money for me on me. Spend it out there so that you can get more people to me.
Yeah.
That is I've been saying that, dude, for well over a decade. Yeah. Well over a decade. Like I don't want anything from you, CrossFit, other than that. That is the only thing. I mean, it protect us,
right?
You know, all the
protect us, speak for us.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that stuff.
Yeah, I get it.
But I mean, especially now, dude. I mean, with the people that we have going into office, people that have been put into certain positions, have connections with the OG, and I'm not talking HQ, I'm talking the OG CrossFit, the understanding of CrossFit, whether they know Greg or Sevon's had him on the show. I mean, like, dude, he's had people that are being picked by Trump have been on the Sevon show. Like, give me a break. This is the time for all of those people to push. RFK, he talks to Greg. Hey, Bobby. Okay. Like, use that, like, leverage that to be like,
Sound
okay,
like King of the Hill.
I know. Hey, Bobby.
God damn it, Bobby.
But leverage that to get it out to the field, to get it out to the group. Stop
Yeah.
making me cool, man. I appreciate the tool book, but that's not what I need. I need you to get it out to the people. And again, that what you said about, like, if we dilute what CrossFit is to make it easier, all we did was we now increase the competition field that we have to go against, because everyone is on the same field. The Barry's boot camps, the 45, the Orange Theory, and now us. If we go up and we move away from that and say why we aren't that, don't just say community. Everyone says community. Stop saying it.
Or say what we are.
But okay, now I got to ask, because you're in the meetings, do they know? And here's why I asked it. Hold on before you answer. The reason I ask that is because there are a lot of people that come from these other businesses. They know what those are.
Yeah.
They are the perfect people to say why we are different. Why aren't they? Or can they?
Well, honestly, that's why after the smoke cleared, I enjoyed the Jada Coons hire. Because my reasoning was, you've got someone who worked for one of these watered down group fitness programs,
right,
who actively said CrossFit was dangerous,
right,
the trainer, like all the same old song and dance that we've heard from people for 20 years. And we're like, when is that going to change? I'm like, never.
Right.
Get over it.
Honestly, good.
Be here forever. And so when they brought Jay in for the affiliate side, I was like, what? Let's see where this goes. You've got someone who was on the other side looking in, and we flipped that person, and he didn't flip for a paycheck. Jay joined an affiliate. He got his level 1 in person. He took his level 2 in person. Like, Jay's all in. Jay's doing the open.
How come we haven't heard about it?
What a cool little piece that would be. What a great.
I
did say that in the meeting. I was like, Jay, we need to, like, you don't need to do pieces on me, like people like me, like the Rebecca Fuselier one. Fantastic, right? Get Jay, pull the clip. What a better person to talk about the power of CrossFit, where you were. But then it's like, Jay, why did you have those, right? You go to Jay, it's like, why did you have that feeling? Why did you have that thoughts? Why did you have that vitriol or disgust of what CrossFit is? And then how did we change that for you?
Because it's perfect. It's all we have heard.
I would love a video on Jada Coons.
Yes, and here's why.
I'm Team Jay, by the way.
All we have heard, oh, well, right?
I mean, you got your own soundbite, bro.
I mean, that's all we've heard.
And because him, by the way, he thinks it's hilarious.
The only person that has said anything has been Hiller.
Yeah.
So use that. Like, dude, that's a massive platform.
Lean into it.
Lean into it.
I told that in a meeting once.
I mean, all of them.
Spokesman right now.
All of them. Who's the girl that came from Barry's boot camp? Still had it up on her Instagram forever. Yeah, Jenna. I mean, all of them. They need, like, I don't even know how it would come out.
By the way,
they should be able to pull it all together and be like, okay, how and why are we different? And don't fucking tell me the community. Don't say it, because they all say that. You cannot say that we're different and we're going to say the exact same thing, because then we're not different.
Right.
Jenna, I know why we are.
CMO,
what's that?
Like, I'm on Team Jay and I'm on Team Jenna, and I was skeptical just like everybody else was, even more so than anybody. Clearly. And like, they get my full stamp of welcome to the family.
Oh, shit. This would be amazing.
What? Oh, wow. Dude.
Right?
I mean, Hiller, go spend 2 days with Jada Coons. Give it to CrossFit. I mean, Hiller's on like a redemption tour right now.
Dude, totally. His Dave Litzman one killed me.
He did that video he did with Haley, which was fantastic.
Amazing,
The one with Dave Litzman. He does broadcasting with Brian Friend.
Right. I know. I know.
Well, yeah, that'd be awesome. right? And I don't want to speak for Hiller, but I could almost guarantee you he would do that in a heartbeat as long as CrossFit uses it.
Yeah.
That'd be great. What a galvanizing moment. CrossFit's greatest hater. Not really, but like, look, it's like Hiller hasn't tried to like, burn some things down. There was a point when Hiller did say boycott.
Yeah.
There was.
Well, he was saying, I don't know why anybody would be involved with
now
it.
He's turned 180 on that stance, but he's even said himself was like, I was this way for a bit, and he's backtracked off of that, which I'm glad, because I was like, hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Have those conversations.
But again, this is this process of the stuff we're talking about right now is exactly what I was meaning about, not just bitching about what's wrong, but saying, okay, well, how this would fix it. This would help. How could this not help? How could this not galvanize our community? How could this not bring people in? If you're trying to get more people in this way. How can you not showcase?
Yep.
Like again, and I'm not saying that they're perfect ideas, but they're ideas.
Yeah.
And I don't hear a lot of other people giving ideas.
True.
I just hear people bitching. And I don't mean about this thing. I'm talking about like the big scope.
And all I say is, like, we said this in the last time, is that, Jenna and her team, I mean, Tyson's back on board. Like, all that video content, like, they are actively trying to see what sticks, what works. They're trying.
And they need to keep on going, because
and then I said,
take a while to get some,
and that goes for the CrossFit Training YouTube channel. Like, keep charging. And Savannah will say this all the time. It's like, doesn't have to be perfect. Just don't stop. Keep going. Keep pushing the envelope. Keep pushing the message. Stop trying to be perfect and just get out there.
Yeah.
And we'll see that. All right. I mean, that's all I got. That's all I got. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah. So thank you, Tyler, for
stirring the pot.
Stirring the pot and setting my world on fire for a bit. Thank you to all the wonderful DMs and showing me exactly how correct I was about asking some of you guys to just go away and do your own thing. Peace be with you. This week, as 266 you guys, hit that like, please. Or hit the down like if you didn't like it.
Or just leave if you don't want to hang out. That's
cool. Or just leave. I have a theory. I know nothing, clearly, and people are very upfront about that. Has anybody picked up, like, no, I think that's where I'm going to go now. Shit. I have some ideas, just like we did last year on our Inside the Leaderboard show, how to make the open matter again. I have a theory of what could be the 2025 CrossFit Games season, where the strength of field is still in play, semifinal regions are still in play, and that 1% might not mean exactly what you think. And how the 15 to 20 online qualifiers, why that range? Why a minimum of 30? Why? I've got theories. So that'll be on our show on Wednesday. On Friday, just like we say, hey, here's an idea. You do it. We'll do it. And I have got my man Barkley Dale, and I'm going to take my theory of what the season could look like from open to online semis using the strength of field, the DeHunt method, and games qualifying allocated spots for online semifinals. And we are going to build what the season looked like using the 2024 CrossFit Open, just to show you what it could look like and what it might mean. So Wednesday, we bring the theory. Friday, we bring the proof, and hopefully you guys enjoy these fun shows that we have the rest of the week. So thank you guys for joining us today, letting us talk. Here's where we're at. Love you guys. Even if you don't love us, peace be with you. And thank you guys for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you guys on Wednesday, and then definitely on Friday. We'll have all the pretty slides. Ready?
You're so busy. You're going to be doing. Oh, Lisa, you're awesome.
Thank you guys very much. Hit subscribe. If you want to be a member, you can. It's $3 a month. Just click it. Once you guys hit subscribe, there's a little button below that says membership. Join us. less than a cup of coffee a month, helps us do these things. It helps him pay Barkley for all of his services. Happy Thanksgiving. Welcome to December. Hope you guys got your trees up, lights up, and we will see you guys on Wednesday.